The Trump administration is making it harder to find government information about climate change on the web. If you searched Google for the words climate change a little over 6 months ago, one of the first hits would have been the Environmental Protection Agency's website. But that was before April 28, when the agency began systematically dismantling its climate change website, which had survived Democratic and Republican administrations and was a leading source of information on a global problem that the president, as a candidate, labeled a hoax. If you search those words today, a link to the EPA site may not appear until the second or third search results page, and sometimes not even then, depending on your browser settings. The site has fallen in Google search results because its address, or URL, no longer directs you to the climate change site or a related page. If you click that link, you'll be redirected to a notice page that says, "We are currently updating our website to reflect EPA's priorities under the leadership of President Trump and Scott Pruitt, the agency's administrator." That page, in turn, contains a link to an archived version of the EPA's website. Well, you might think, at least the old site has been preserved. But the archive is far from complete. A significant number of pages and PDFs are not available, and entire portions of the site, like the Student's Guide to Global Climate Change, have been left out. Some of these pages and PDFs can no longer be found anywhere within the government's web presence. The EPA climate-related web pages that are still live continue to provide valuable information, but many links from those pages to other pages have been removed. And now broken links that previously led to the EPA climate change pages are scattered across federal and non-federal websites. Since January, our organization, the Environmental Data and Governance Initiative, has monitored changes to tens of thousands of web pages across federal agencies. While we haven't found examples of altered data, it is clear that the administration is intent on making it difficult or impossible to find information on its web pages about climate change. Of all the government websites we've been monitoring, the EPA's has been hit hardest. Terms like greenhouse gases, carbon and climate change have been replaced by vague descriptors like sustainability and emissions. In addition, web resources about specific regulations have disappeared. One website that has vanished concerned the Clean Power Plan, President Barack Obama's effort to reduce carbon dioxide emissions from electric power generation. It was replaced by a single web page containing only information about a presidential order calling for a review of the plan. Months later, the EPA announced that it would seek to repeal the Obama plan. Removing information about the plan's benefits has made it difficult for citizens to provide informed comments during the repeal process. The agency also removed its website for climate and energy resources for state, local and tribal governments and replaced it with one called Energy Resources for State, Local and Tribal Governments, eliminating over 200 web pages, including almost all of those pertaining to climate change. In a recent letter to Mr.